Okay, so thank you for joining us today. And again, I'm Sandy with Implementation Specialists, and I'm excited to show you our drawer tool. Okay, so the drawer tool I think is really cool. It enhances Microsoft Dynamics GP's document attachment functionality. It provides the ability to manage your employee, customer, vendor, and inventory attachments, and gives you security around them and flexibility to organize really sensitive document attachments in GP. It lets you create up to 10 user-defined folders for each of those 4 areas, and then customize the security on them down to the user level for each folder. So then users can access only the attachments to which their role has been assigned. For example, if we look at this screenshot here, for example, you could be assigned maybe application and onboarding, and then I could be assigned benefits, garnishments, termination, or however we want to set it up. There's the flexibility to do that. So let's take a look in GP. And so here in GP, you can see I've got, well, 4 card windows open: customer maintenance, vendor maintenance, employee maintenance, and item maintenance. And the drawer functionality works the same in all of them. If we go to additional drawer, then we'll see those, and we see 10 folders, and these 10 are just for customer maintenance. You can tell that by the RM there for receivables management. And then same thing here, again, I'll slide this one over. So for vendor, we've got our PM ones, 10 of them. And once more here, inventory ones, we've got 10 of them. And then employee, again, 10 of them. And in the other ones you saw, they just had names of the colors. Here I've renamed some of them, and we'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to focus pretty much in HR today, but just remember it works the same way in the other 3 modules as well. So before we get into actually using drawer, I wanted to spend a few minutes looking at the security behind it, because really that's what makes this so powerful, is the security that's built into it. So I'm in right now as SA, and as SA then I can get here to the security setup. So I'm going to go, and you can call the security tasks whatever you want. I just started all of mine with the word drawer. And you can make these as generic or as granular as you want. In this case, I set up 10 different ones for the HR folders, one for each different colored folder. But you don't have to make it that granular. You just really need a security task for each unique folder combination you want somebody to have access to. So let's just pick this pink one and look at it for a moment. So again, this one has access only to the pink folder, which is the first folder within drawer for HR, okay? And then once you have all of the security tasks set up, then the next step would be to assign those security tasks to roles. So you can either create new security roles or use existing ones. I created some new ones. Let's take a look at this one I called HR hiring. And again, you can have as many or as few of these as you want. You can use add your drawer security tasks to existing roles or make new roles, up to you. And then I'm just going to mark the display selected so we can see. So this one for hiring, I set to have access to 3 of the 10 drawer folders, blue, pink, and purple. And that'll make more sense in a minute here when we look at those. But that's security roles. And then the last step would be assigning roles to users. So here I have, and then I also wanted to point out, as SA or any power user, I automatically have access to all the drawer folders in all the modules. But other users that aren't power users, you need to grant that access. So here, user 1 has access to all of the 10 drawer HR folders, but not any of the other drawer. So not in inventory or customer or purchasing. And then they also have the HR manager role. And then I also wanted to just quick look at one more, which is user 2. And this one has access to that role where we gave them the pink, purple, and blue folders in HR, and then their HR generalist. And again, they don't have access to the other 3 modules at all. Okay, so now before we jump into looking at how to use drawer, well, actually first, Cheryl, are there any questions that anyone has about the security setup?
No questions at this point.
Okay. So I'm going to jump over then and switch roles, or excuse me, not roles, but users. So then we can see somebody with a little less access than SA. So I'm going to log in as user 1. Okay, so remember, I'm concentrating on the HR module, or drawer for employees, but again, it works the same way for the other 3 areas. So here we'll go to HR, and I can bring it up on the employee, or I also have it right here on the menu, providing I have access to it. And remember, I logged in right now as user 1, which is the HR manager, and they have access to the 10 drawer folders in HR. But for example, if I went to sales, I think, okay, I can see it here, but I can't do anything with it. So if I pick a customer, I don't see any folders under there at all, because I don't have, as you saw, we didn't set up security for user 1 to be able to see those. So if we go back to HR and go to drawer, then let's start here with Alice. So we can see the 10 folders, and then I have already renamed some of these, as you can see. And if I want to rename another one here, I can just right click on it and select rename. And let's call this one injuries. Okay, so anybody that has access to this yellow folder could rename it then. And then anyone that logs in will now see it called injuries. And if we switch to another employee like Alan, we see the same names, but now we also see, like Alice didn't have anything, there were no plus buttons there because there's no documents that have been attached to Alice's record. But here for Alan, we have some. You can see under application, I've already attached 3 documents, 2 Word documents and a spreadsheet. So it doesn't have to be just Word documents. You can attach other, other file types. I could attach pictures, whatever. But those are just there for Alan, not for other users, okay? Because they're specific to him and specific to, and available to see only for users that have access to them. So let's jump back to Alan. And so we just renamed this one to injuries. And now if we want to add a document, we just select, I right-clicked again, and now we select attachments. And then this opens the GP document attachment functionality. So I can click attach here, and hope I'm not, let me get to the right path here. It's in my documents folder. Okay, so injuries. I've got an injury report here for Alan. If we want to preview that, we can look at it. I don't know if it came, oh, maybe I didn't select it. There we go. So again, that's GP functionality there with the document attachment. And so now I can attach that. Whoops, I already did, I guess. So it already is attached, excuse me. And so now when we go back here, we see that there. So again, anybody who has security to see the injuries folder in HR would be able to see this attachment here and add additional attachments. And that's specific to this employee. So I think it's really cool how that works. And then again, though, and we can switch to right here. I don't have to go out, like if I wanted to go to inventory, I wouldn't have to jump out there. I can do it right here. I can switch to item and then pick an item. And again, because I'm the HR manager and I have access to only the HR drawer folders, I don't see anything here. But I can jump to them right from here if I did have access. So again, when we were back on the employee, and I'll pick on Alan again, we can see all 10 of these folders, and we can see where there's documents attached here. But now let's go to somebody with even less access. So let me switch users once more, and instead of logging in as somebody with access to all 10 folders, we'll do the user 2 that has access to only 3 of the 10 HR drawer folders.
So Sandy, while you're doing that, there is a question.
Oh, okay.
The naming of the folders, is it only for you or for everyone? And as you switch users, I guess we're going to see that, but it's for everyone.
Yeah, really good question. Yes, you're right. It's for everyone. So I will see injuries on that yellow folder if I have access to it, but I don't because I only have access to the first 3 as this user. So let's go back to HR and payroll. And again, we can get to it here from the from the employee maintenance and then additional, or right from the cards menu. And so these have the same names. The names are the same no matter who you're logging in as. And so if I changed it here, like let's say I don't like, whoops, I clicked the wrong one. Let's say I don't like the name, it's too long. I don't want resume in there at all. I'm going to shorten it just to application. Then that's what it's going to be for everyone. That's how they'll see it. So again, it's the same name everyone will see in these HR drawer folders. But then if you want to rename it, you can, providing you have access to it, but it renames it for everyone. So hopefully, I kind of rambled there, but hopefully that answered that question. And so again, now we see, because this user 2 had access only to the pink, purple, and blue folders, that's all we see here. We don't see the remaining 7 folders. So of course, then we can't see those documents attached to those 7 folders. So if it's something, really sensitive like termination information, or I don't know if you'd have salary information or whatever it might be in documents that you want to attach, you can make it so only users with access to that specific folder can see those. Yeah, so I think that's about everything I wanted to cover. Cheryl, did I miss anything we should say about drawer?
I don't think so. I think you covered, all the 4 areas. And like you said, you don't have to be on the maintenance card because sometimes you won't have access to that maintenance card, right? Because like you said,
Right.
it's going to be some protected data about the customer,
Yep.
vendor, or employee. And yeah, so being able to access it outside of that master record is good as well. Because like you have Alan there, you could be Alice, you could switch which employees you're working on and still
Yep.
see access to all of that. So.
Yeah. So yeah, yep. And so yeah, Brian doesn't have anything attached.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and I
it's really
don't
powerful.
don't see any more questions in the question or chat pane.
Okay. Well, let's see. There. Well, here's our information if you want to contact us. If you have any more questions or want to see more about Drawer or any of our other tools, this is how you can get in touch with us. And yeah, I think it's a great tool and really powerful. So
Sounds good.
thank you for joining us, and thank you,
Thank
Cheryl.
you.
Thank you, Judy.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, Sandy.
Bye.
Great job. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.